Thank you so much. Just really wanted to reflect for a little while in terms of why the current approach to disability unemployment is flawed. So currently 45% of Australians with disability live on or near the poverty line. That compares to 13.4% of the general population and 20% of folk in the OECD with disability. So we think a big driver of that is only 48% of Australians with disability are, are engaged with the workforce, and that compares to 71% of the non-disabled. To put that into context, when you look at the 29 OECD countries, that puts us in 21st place. During the last 30 years, a sequence of Australian governments of both major parties have tried to improve this figure and only improved it by 8%. So we think the fact that the current approach focuses almost exclusively on putting people into a regular job is why it's flawed, because for some disabilities, people won't know hour to hour if they'll be well enough to work. And that's obviously inconsistent with even casual work. So we think that the positive and constructive approach would be to help people to create a job for themselves. So just really wanted to reflect in terms of my own disability entrepreneurship journey. So as you've heard, for the last 15 years, I've been general manager of a consultancy firm in the research ethics and research integrity space. We started off really as a bit of a passion project, a hobby really. We've grown to be Australia's largest for-profit consultancy firm in this space, working internationally, initially into Aotearoa, New Zealand, then the UK, and just recently into Kazakhstan and Asia. So we're a very, very small international consultancy firm, but that's provided some lessons learned for me. So managing new client and new job uh, flows, also managing revenue and thinking about things like insurance and working with an accountant. And those are valuable lessons that I'm passionate about paying forward. So I think the important thing to say is, I'm not a remarkable person. I'm not the smartest person. I'm not the most erudite person that I know. But instead, what I've benefited from is some very generous and knowledgeable mentors who've given me resources and support. So that's something that we think we could pay forward to the Australian disability community. So, in our work today, we've seen some people with some amazing potential that's not really been facilitated to come out to the world. And so I might just reflect very quickly in terms of our experience to date with Enabled.vip. So in terms of four folk that we've been working with, so Gemma in Queensland, she's doing cooking for Australians with disability. And we've helped her to shift that to doing online cooking courses, just because that's something that can be more scalable. Whereas Vicky is doing wellness, yoga, and mindfulness retreats, working for Queenslanders with disability. And also nationally, Ryan's producing pride and pronoun pins, including for individuals and also marked with business logos. And lastly, Jacob is doing some work in terms of doing consultancy, helping folk with disability find useful assistive technology. So we've started doing our mentoring of those individuals. We started doing our monthly webinars and chatting to universities just to create a longitudinal tool to collect some metrics about the platform. So our 2024 goal is to work with 400 people with disability. Our 2026 goal is to work with 1,000. And then thinking beyond that, so there's 1.9 million Australians with disability of working age. And I'd like you just to close your eyes for a moment and imagine a future where an Australian would-be entrepreneur with disability is seen as a future business leader, a tax contributor, and an employer. And that's the future that we're hoping to work towards. So in terms of us participating in this event, 20 to 30,000 would definitely help us polish and scale the platform. Beyond that, most of the members of our team have got lived experience and are volunteers. So we'd love to be able to start paying them some sort of honoraria as well as I say, scaling up towards that 1.9 million. But, that's us in a nutshell.